Hi, let's see if Kenneth can get in. We're on now. While waiting for him to join. Hi, there you are.
Hi, Tita.
Great to see you here. Thank you.
Hi.
I'm just going
Good to see
to
you. Yeah.
introduce this session. So, people, usually we have
Okay.
this session with BCCF, Bandung Creative City Forum, Tetangga on
Yeah.
Tuesday and Saturday. But today, because it's special, today is World Industrial Design Day. So we're celebrating it by having 12
Yes.
hours non-stop event. And as we speak,
Yeah.
actually another event is going on, a webinar on automotive design, automotive technology for the future until 5. So that's with Indonesia Trend
Okay.
Forecasting and the Association of Industrial Designers. But here at our
Yeah.
Instagram Live, we have Kenneth. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, as you can see,
Yeah.
your
Thank you,
first slide
Tita.
is
Thank you for
on.
inviting me.
Well, for those
Yeah.
who I will introduce, my name is Tita. I'm the chairman of Bandung Creative City Forum. So this IG Live is with it's about a community hub, and we're glad to have Kenneth from Cebu, who's also a member of in UNESCO Creative Cities Network as a city of design. So we know the importance of design as well, and I think Kenneth doesn't need too much introduction because his name is already speaking of himself. So yeah, please go ahead, Kenneth, and let's talk about things we like, which is design. We
Yes.
cannot
So
hear you.
I'll show a bit. Yeah. Uh, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. So this is how I started. These are my mother's design. My mom was a furniture designer who did all these designs using rattan. And she did this back in the 80s, and she has an invention patent for working with rattan this way, very sculptural. And yeah, and then I went to study in the US and Italy, and then I came back and started to create the designs under my own name. So maybe we can go on to the next slide.
Yeah.
And just to show you briefly, yeah, these are some of the designs that I did. This is called La Luna, and I designed this actually 20 years ago. This is in 2000, exactly the year 2000, and it won an award in New York for craftsmanship. Yes.
But it's long lasting. It
Go
doesn't look
on.
old at
Yeah.
all. Mm.
Yes, yes, and that's what design should be. It should be classic. This is, of course, my first design. This is called the Yin and Yang, and made out of rattan and steel. And I used to make all my designs in only for indoor natural materials, but now we've also transitioned to outdoor because so many people have asked if they can put it outside. Yeah. So just keep on going, Tita. Yeah, this is a
Mm-hmm.
new design of mine. It's called a Sage. This is
Which
supposed to
one?
be uh, the
This one.
the green one.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a new design of mine called Sage Sofa, and it's supposed to be shown in Milan, but of course Milan was canceled.
Yeah.
And yeah, so these are okay. Just go on, Tita.
Says you.
Yeah, of course, this is the dragnet chair, which is inspired by a fishnet. This is a leaf. This is a leaf chair. This is a very difficult chair to make to keep the shape. And it's very simple. Also, still my a favorite chair, but we actually never produced that chair. It's just too
Too difficult.
difficult.
Mm.
And this is, yeah, difficult to make. This is the Lola chair, which also won an award in New York for the no, sorry, this is the one Design for Asia award. This is Pigalle, one of the earliest designs. In the beginning, when I used to design, I designed by myself with a craftsman and with somebody who just drew it. We were only practically a three-man team. And now, of course, I have a design team. We put out more things every year. Yeah. Uh, Go ahead. Yeah, just keep. You can show the next slides, Tita.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, this is a classic.
This
Yeah,
yeah.
it's called the Yoda chair, the one before.
Oh, the one before.
Yeah,
This one.
go back to the one before. Before that, still.
This.
Yeah, this one. This one is a chair of Carlos Coyoda. This is what the best-selling chair, I think, in my country, in the Philippines. You know?
Oh, sorry.
It's also one of the most heavily copied chairs, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, this chair, it's inspired by grass, and also uses the characteristic of rattan. When you lean on it, that it leans back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it
and
definitely
yeah, we
copied
carry
because
on.
it's obvious how you make it, so it's easy
Yeah,
to imitate.
yes, yes, simple. Yes, this one, oh, it's too bad. I think you're covering. This is a big lamp called Little People, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
called Boomtown. It's made up of little people. Actually, it's hard to see on the
Yeah.
on Instagram, but yeah, this is a lamp that's adjustable, goes up and down. Yeah, this is a life size. It's a part of the Acrobat series. This is called Limbo, and there are several pieces in the collection. This is one of them called the Limbo Acrobat. Then the next slide, please. Yeah, this is an elephant. This is actually a workstation. You can't see it here, but that's actually it's an elephant which opens up to reveal a workstation. I think these are one of the things that's going to become part of the new normal. You know, you have your own complete private workstation inside your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Tita.
Yes.
Yeah, this is also wanted to show this. This is an installation actually for a hotel. It's inspired by islands, so it looked like this sharp, this tall, jagged rock formation. And as you can see, when people sit in it, they sit far apart and face away from each other. It's kind of when we designed it, we thought it was very anti-social, but actually
Yeah.
it's perfect now after the pandemic.
It is. It is. Your
Yeah.
design is timely. So you use also mixed materials here already. So rattan and cushions.
Yes, yes. This is a rattan and steel. Yes. Right. This is of course tilt. I designed a few things in wood. This is actually, it's quite difficult actually also to make this chair. And then it's made up of pieces of walnut wood that are very precisely doweled together. One of the also difficult chairs to make.
Yeah. Too bad my screen is
Go
covering
ahead.
the important part.
I know. Yeah. This is, of course, the peacock chair. It's named after a traditional Filipino, Southeast Asian chair. Yeah. And as you can see, I always joke that before I even knew it, many of the pieces actually promote social distancing, you know, because they're all divas and they all require space on their own. And you really can't put too close
Right.
together, you know, they just don't look good or they hit each other.
Now you don't even need a
Yeah.
reason because people do it anyway. So again, it's
Yeah,
relevant.
that's right. Right. Yes, this is of course Bloom, and this is made out of microfiber. Yeah, I think the next generation of designers will have to learn to use a lot of synthetics. And as much as I don't quite like it, but I think we'll have to learn to use also a lot of plastics because they can be disinfected, they can be wiped down with alcohol. Okay,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead,
Maybe another
Tita.
things. Maybe plastic is long
Yeah.
lasting, so you don't have to retrieve newer material from the ground, and you just have to make do with which already on the
Yes.
side. I think. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And this is, of course, cabaret. It's like a knit, gigantic knit sofa, which I did. This one I did about, I think, 7 years ago. And it's like gigantic knitting, you know, how grandmother would make these knit sweaters.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Go ahead. And this is,
actually
of course, my collaboration with Disney. This is the Star Wars chair. Yeah.
it has
Again,
distinctive.
another diva.
Oh
Yeah.
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 And this
Distinctive shapes actually. Yes. And
easily
of course
recognized.
this light. Um, this, yeah, this is quite difficult piece also because of the technology involved in it. It uses LED wire that you push through because it's made out of paper, like a form of paper mache, the production. So the wire has to be pushed inside it. So this is, I think, low tech meets high tech. Go ahead.
You.
Yeah, this is another lamp of mine. These are, yeah, yeah. There's two. This one is synthetic. The one on the left, it's a white. It's made out of nylon. So this is fully synthetic material. And the one on the right side is natural. Uses rattan.
So, but are they the same products, or
Go
do you
ahead.
have?
This is just. I'm just. These are different. These are actually different products. The one on the right side is a mirror frame, but of course it's round. So I put them together. If you run the next slide.
The next slide, it's this one.
Yeah, okay. So because it's World Industrial Design Day, I'm showing you also things that I've done that are not part of furniture. This is a bamboo bicycle. It's a collaboration with Brian McClelland of Bam Bike. My problem with most bamboo bicycles today is they look like they're steel. They look like they're made of steel, and we just replace it with bamboo, you know. And I think we're not really using the material for what it is. And this one uses a bamboo frame and then bamboo slats, you know. And I made the handlebars kind of like a bull, you know, or like a carabao, like the water buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you write on this?
And that's full bamboo frame.
Right.
Yes, we're actually working on it, but we never produced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Continue.
what is this?
Yeah, so I designed this. This is a medal actually for Iron Man.
Oh.
And you see, I did this. I designed seven of these medals. This was the first one. It's my favorite. And you see this because the Iron Man is three courses, right? There's the marathon, there's the bike, and there's a swimming portion. So I put the three rings close to each other with little figures in them. And this was the first one we did. And when we did it, we quite didn't know how to do it, so they kept on falling off. We perfected several techniques over the years, but this is my favorite, the first one.
Yeah, but that's the fun part of having designed in prototype form, because then you have to find solutions to make it work, either technically or whatever else. So,
Yes, you always have to experiment. And here's some of the things that we did. You know, we tried to do masks woven very, very fine, using a very, very fine weave. These are our concepts, of course.
Did you do it before pandemic
Next.
Or during pandemic?
No, this is after.
After.
Yeah, this was after. Yeah, after. And I designed this clutch bag that many know about. I've always wanted to design women's bags because it's just something that's full of fantasy. This one was like a chicken, you know, like a bird in a cage that you go around and you hold it, you know, wherever you go. And there's this bird with feathers inside. And this one opens up. It's a beautiful, like a brass cage. Yeah. This is a bag I did as a concept for Tumi. It's made out of bamboo, actually, and cloth. And it's made out of it's called ballistic nylon. It's a material that very synonymous with the brand, with Tumi. And so I wanted to incorporate natural material, bamboo, into it. And so actually the front expands. You expands, you know, it's like if you see it.
Okay.
So it expands in front. And yeah.
So it grows along with the content, whatever you put in. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That was also a concept. It went around traveling and design exhibitions. This is a design of mine called Apollo, and you see there. Well, when we photograph them, they're always very far apart from each other. So,
Safe
they're all yeah. Well, that's yes. Apollo is like a too bad you can't see it here, but it's like a big cocoon that's standing on. It's like a tree house. It's basically, that's what it is. It's very playful. You can sleep in it. You can lie down in it. It's just elevated high up from the ground.
Right. Whoever sits here is higher than the
Yeah.
ones who are sitting underneath. So, well.
Yes. Yes. Just like a tree house. Yeah. This is of course, this is a tricycle which I did, and it's called Eclipse. And actually, it has. You don't see it here, but this is actually wanted to bring back the romance back again into travel. So it has GPS, it has cup holders. It actually has a divider between the driver and the passenger. You know, it has a clear plastic divider which you can store, and it actually protects you from the rain.
Oh, okay.
So we've been doing this one. Yes, this one we did. I did this actually with an Indonesian apprentice.
Did
Used
you
to be working
practice
with
in
us, and we
Indonesia?
worked on
No.
this. Yes,
Did you
yes,
practice
yes,
it
yes. It was
in Indonesia?
yeah,
I think I wrote
yeah.
this.
He was Indonesian, and he did work with us.
Okay. I wrote
Yes,
him.
this is
I was
actually in.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I think it's in Penang. It's
In
in the
Penang, yeah.
tourism office and in a lot of, yes,
Lots
in
of
Penang, a lot of places. Yeah.
bicycle.
Yes. This is of course a car. It's a concept car I designed called the Phoenix. It's been in a cover of a lot of books. Yeah, this is a full bamboo rattan and carbon fiber. And this one I worked with a German friend. Yeah, his name's Albi Berkner, and we worked on this and we presented it in Milan years ago.
So even the interior is rotten.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah.
Yes, interior is rattan and parts carbon fiber. And these are some of the interiors I did. This is for the meeting before for APEC for all the world leaders. And this actually using Yoda, the middle part is inspired by the terraces. Yes, and so all the world leaders sat down on these chairs for their banquet.
So they really
This
made
was
this.
also years ago.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
they
a,
really used it. They really met there, and yes, and afterwards, the chairs I then gave it to UNICEF, where they auctioned the chairs depending on who sat where. You know, so the chair of, for example, of President Obama and President and Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau, they were all auctioned by UNICEF.
so do you know where they are now? Your chair.
Yeah,
The owners.
yeah. Actually, they went to several collectors. And I think I'm not sure now how much they raised. I think they raised about 160,000 US dollars. I think they raised I think in 10 minutes. And it was the fastest, it was the biggest money that they got in such a short time in the auction. Yeah.
And this
And these are some of the things that I collaborated or worked on. This is the airport. Yeah, this is the Mactan Airport, which won the award, the World Architectural Award for the best airport in the world. This I worked with a team from the architects from Hong Kong and also Bujilayog and architect Royal Pineda. And it's really interesting because the ceiling is made out of wood. It's all wood. It's all laminated together, and the tiles, the flooring is made out of compressed seashells and cast resin. Yeah.
So now if I go to Mactan, I'll see that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
definitely. Yeah. And so this is how I spend most of my time in this office here. And so it gets boring to just stay in one corner of the room. So I jump around and I
so
stay
this
in
is
different parts of the house.
Is this your house then?
Yes, this is my house. This is my workspace. And you see I have little odds and ends there. And this is also part of it. That's a chair I designed. It's like a palm leaf. And sometimes then I work in the garage. So there, I love vintage sport cars. So I sometimes I set up a table there and I work over them.
So we're about to
And
go
I
to the
stay
class.
during the lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to spend
Okay.
a lot of
Yeah.
time.
And then you can ask questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's me over there.
That's you.
Yeah. This is me pondering yeah, when all this will end and what designers can do.
And your
Yeah.
dog looks bored.
So, s- uh,
Your
sorry.
dog.
Oh yeah, the dog right there. Yeah, yes, yes. I have three dogs in
Okay.
my house.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you
So
for
yeah,
sharing
if
your work, because it's surely a huge extension of products, not only furniture but also other
yeah,
experiments. So I know that you're among the main
yes,
person that
yeah.
will bring Cebu into the UNESCO City of Design. Would you mind telling us how you process this to get into the network?
Yes, actually, it was brought about by several, several designers here in Cebu. It was a very private endeavor, actually, and was uh, and it was a lot of work actually. And then the government came over to help later on. So this was mostly a venture from, in fact, private people, designers. Cebu has always been a source of because its natural position in the Philippines as a trading hub. It's always very open to ideas, and nothing really grows here. We don't have agricultural land in Cebu, so it's always been trading. So people here have always been very open to ideas, and people have had to rely on their own skills to survive because nothing grows here. And so naturally, there are many designers, there are a lot of creative people, and it was only very natural then to apply for the title of a creative city. And in fact, we didn't expect to get it at the first go, because how other cities have applied and they've tried until several years before they get it. Yeah, and I know Bandung, where you come from, shares a lot of. We have a lot of sister relations, and Bandung is quite similar, I think, to Cebu. And there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of young people. Yeah,
And also, we don't have our own
and
natural
yeah.
resources. So we have to always take in from other cities as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's why I think we share something very similar.
And then in
Yeah,
2014,
and
we started this Southeast Asian Creative Cities Network with Cebu in it. So they're quite active in this Creative Cebu with Buck.
yes, yes, yes. And I remember a lot of the designers, I think, from Bandung did come here to Cebu, I think many years ago, right?
Mhm.
And it's very exciting. Yeah, and then when I went to Bandung, I remember when you to visit you there, there was so much energy. I think it's also very young. It's a university town, right? So there's a lot of young people.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed when I went to your university and I saw some of the work there in furniture. It was very good, actually. And it's good if we can collaborate in some way, right?
Hearing it from you is like kind of flattering because then it can come
Yeah,
true
yeah.
because we
No,
need this.
really, really. I'm not saying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Governor Camille was always
Right.
inviting me, and yeah,
Yes.
it's really it's very inspiring.
We should continue
Yeah,
that because, well, COVID. But then otherwise, because we're so near, actually, a lot of projects can be realized. And I can update you that now West Java has its own creative economy committee, so we can move faster with that
yeah,
institution. Because waiting for the government sometimes is really needs a lot of patience. So, but
yeah,
yeah,
yes, that's right.
you've dealt a lot also with the Cebu government, I think.
Well, yes, yes, but not as a creative. I've I've yeah, I work. I'm part. I'm the head of the. It's called Regional Development Council, but I wish there were something that were more formal and creative. But we don't have a structure just like yours in Cebu, and that's why I always look towards Bandung and see. I think in a way you're more advanced in terms of things because also you work together very closely and you're supported by the government, and I think that's great. I remember flying over and giving talks over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean even to have this, I think is great. Yeah.
But yeah,
Are we taking questions, Tita, or no,
yes.
from the
Actually, there are questions as
audience?
well. Um, well, there's a question from. Well, the name is not in our letter, so I cannot read it. But hi, Mr. Cobonpue. What is your favorite piece amongst your designs?
Mm, yeah, I get asked that a lot. It's very difficult to pick one because they're all like my children. So I gave birth to so many of them. Each one has its own story. I like the pieces actually that are breakthroughs, like the dragnet, which was a when you design here in Indonesia or in the Philippines or in Southeast Asia, we always design using natural materials, right? And it's woven, and it's very difficult to create something that's different, that uses things that are not the usual, not rattan, not bamboo, not wicker. And this is a design of mine, this red chair that uses then wire and fabric, as simple as fabric. And I think taking things that are not natural and still applying this craft, this Southeast Asian craftsmanship in it, I think that's another way to go forward.
Yeah, that's because
Yeah.
I know natural
Yeah.
material is hard to tame, and when you have to make a lot of
Yes.
them
Yes.
in huge amount, then you cannot have another quality control of it.
Yeah.
So, well,
Yes.
another
Yes.
question
Yeah.
is coming in the row. Do you have anything in Milan, Italy?
We have some distributors all over the world who may have things on the show or on the floor, but we have practically agents in every part of Europe. We may not have the actual thing there, but we have representation almost around the world.
So Milan as well, of course.
And yes, yes. What are if I may ask, what are designers in Indonesia doing to you know to address the new normal? Are there anything that they're doing,
Yeah,
or I think
yeah.
it's very difficult, I think, for designers nowadays to find a voice, right? I don't know how it is there
I see it. That's but that also did
in
happen the
Indonesia.
other way around, because some of our friends
Yeah.
who are really producing design, they shift some of their
Mm-hmm.
production line into making this personal equipment for safety. So they make masks, and they make the
Yes.
overall suit, the hazardous material suits, and so on. So they still produce. And then I heard from one of my colleagues who also produce bamboo art. It's like what when you show your slide at home. You have to have different ambience, I think, because you have to stay home for long. It's not normal for Southeast Asian, because
Yeah.
you go out because the weather is always nice. But then when you're home a lot, then you
Mm-hmm.
realize that you have to have a nicer thing. So from his experience,
Yeah.
um, demands are increasing, but then the craftsman is not up to the
Yes.
quality or quantity to fulfill the demand. So it happens the other way around.
Yes, that's right.
So
Right.
now,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I yeah, I'm noticing that in fact the home market has gone up because people spend more time in their homes and they see, oh, I need this, I need that, or now they spend more time, so they invest more into it, which is I think good for a lot of home and furniture designers, I think, and that's great. I think that it's quite difficult, and I think designers are still struggling to find their voice. I mean, true, they're producing PPEs and masks, but there's not much you can do there, right? Because it's a functional device, and so safety is the first priority, and
right.
so it doesn't give you much creative, leeway to design something. And so I think it's interesting to see what people come up with after, and how to find a natural solution to that. I think that's the challenge, which I so far haven't seen.
Yeah, it is, because the
Yeah.
key is for us, maybe in the tropics, we have a different challenge, because we are people of gatherings. So not being able to gather really
Yeah.
is It's a huge change, and then you have to rethink about how you deliver
Yes.
products and services. And so among the highest
Yeah.
demand now is to how to communicate first safety and how to communicate your
Mm,
products
mm.
instantly, because you cannot come to the shop, right? You cannot touch the material, you cannot
Yes,
see it.
yes, yes,
So,
yes,
yeah, I wonder if
yes.
how you do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think now that's why now because you can't really sit, you can't really try out your chairs, so a lot has to be conveyed through video, through pictures, through, and I think this is something that actually designers need to invest in, especially in Southeast Asia. Very, very few, and I'm talking about even the top designers here in our part of the world really do invest in good marketing material, in catalogs, in photographers, in video. And I think now that's become more important than ever. I think communication, right? I remember going to a lot of, exhibitions, and you see only very, very few companies from Southeast Asia, right? There's only, from Thailand, usually Thailand, Indonesia. Uh, yeah, I think these are the main three countries with a lot of designers, and they're very, very, and all the products are good, but very, very few really beautiful catalogs, and the communication I think now is very, very important. I agree with you.
So
Yeah,
what do you
and
think the future design, because we are also educators, right? I teach in the university. So what do you think needs to be shifted in the education of design, especially industrial design?
mm, I think, well, I used to have because I used to teach, right, and I stopped, and I think it's very important for people to learn about the world outside, to see how people live. And of course, we see that in a way through movies and through television, and we imagine how people live. I think it's important to travel, which is of course now become very difficult, but to really um, understand also, which I've always been advocate of form, to understand uh, how form and function come together. And I've always taught classes on form, on beauty, and that it's a science. And I think I've been trying to, but it's not easy to teach. But I've been trying to impart that also to the design team.
Yeah. And also there's
Yeah.
a new concern now about you have to have this certain level of hygiene, because otherwise bacteria and virus and so
Yes.
on. And that and playing with
Yes.
natural
Yes.
material is
Yes.
actually giving a lot of conscious, because well, we are full of animals
Yes.
everywhere. So our home is not even sterile. I
Yeah.
can always see insects and small animals. So those has become concerns too.
Yes. Yes.
That kind of
Yes, it
safety.
has. And also, yeah, and that's why I've seen the designs in the new normal, right? So I design all these things that are made out of plastic and acrylic shields that
Yeah.
stop people, and I don't, yeah, I don't know if I like it. I don't think that's going to become the new, that's going to become part of the normal. And I'm still waiting for better solutions from designers from our part of the world, from Southeast Asia, and I think that's a challenge. I've always said that I think that there'll be more and more custom design, that restaurants, hotels will ask us to design things that are custom made, and I also think that um, that there will be a demand also for a lot of partition screens, you know, for a lot of these woven panels that separate us from other people, that separate spaces. Because I think rather than just put something like plastic or a clear, you know,
Yeah.
acrylic divider, I think it's beautiful to have like different textures and weaves.
And
Mm.
what if think about us as Southeast Asians? We have lots of places that are very crowded, like marketplaces, and designers are now expected to come up with a concept that maybe how would you crowd in a marketplace, which is wet market or traditional market, how would you crowd in a traditional ceremony or uh, rituals and so on, because that's the nature of us. And well, so far the UNESCO Cities of Design, we've been submitting a lot of ideas or say experiments about how we distance ourselves and so on. But then it should be different from for Southeast Asia cities, I think. Uh,
Yes, I think so. I think the whole normally markets in Southeast Asia are just one big open space, right? Many of them are even outdoor, semi-open. And I think that's why I was saying again that the partitions are that these partitions that you can just divide, and I think you can make a very beautiful market design using these kind of like screens, right? So from you screen yourself from one another. Yeah, and I think it's a better alternative than using a lot of plastic, which they're using now, using today. These are, I think, look very temporary, all these solutions.
I think
Hmm.
as you speak, you also have it in your mind about how it looks.
Yes, 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 yes. I think that's always been a challenge, how to use our natural materials and try to partition spaces to create this all these beautiful designs. Mhm.
Do you have a particular
Yeah.
sketchbook where you put your
How?
ideas in?
Yes, yeah. Well, I actually that's my problem is that I draw anywhere, and
Oh,
so I have a lot of paper around, and I just pick it up and I just
oh
draw it.
no.
I think yeah, I know it's a problem. I don't really have a book, and the moment I open a book, then I begin to feel that it has to be beautiful, it has to be done this way, it has to be nice, and I've never had that discipline of working within a particular book, and yeah, because I do a lot of exploration, and I think that I don't know that's just me. So somebody has to follow and
Yeah,
chase me and pick up all these pieces of paper,
yeah.
Mm.
And then have a Kenneth Museum of Drawings one day. So you, your piece for furniture now was used to be just this one line. That would be fun for
Yeah,
design.
yeah. I must say though that it's been very difficult actually for designers like us working now during the lockdown. It's really hard to design through just like Zoom meetings and almost impossible because we have to work with the craftsmen. We have to feel these materials. It's not easy. If we were designing medical office equipment or kitchen cabinets, it can be done. It's just difficult for us. And I think uh, yeah, I think this is a common problem for a lot of designers around in Asia.
Is your
Hmm.
workshop still active now in this era, in this pandemic?
Uh, yes, the production is active production, but again, as you say, it's difficult to bring people in. Difficult to bring because especially here in Cebu, we're again on lockdown, so it's difficult to bring people in to work. So the designers, we've had to work from home. It's not always easy, but we try.
Oh, so what else has changed with
Yeah.
in Cebu in these recent months?
Well, we were on a more eased community quarantine, and now we're back again on lockdown because our cases are, of course, rising, and our hospitals they're having a hard time coping with the demand, and yeah, and I think the one that's hardest hit are actually the designers, artists, performers. They're the ones who don't have a venue, so it's really very difficult for creative people right now, and especially when it's a life-threatening situation, you think of the basic necessities, and you begin to ask yourself, is what I'm doing necessary? Does the world need it? There's all these questions. I remember uh, well, all the furniture shows were canceled, but every year we were just producing and making so many things every year, all the brands, without even thinking whether the world needs us and all these products. There's just too much out there. And now I think designers are on pause and thinking, you know, what does the world really need and what's important, not only in design but also in our lives.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this reminds me of I think 2 weeks ago, Charles Landry, he
Yeah,
has a webinar, and his argument is talking about the essentials. He said the question is not what is the value of culture, but what is the cost of not valuing arts and culture, because allocation of budgets and all sometimes go to other things, then and art and culture is always the ones that become the, say, victim of the budget allocation. And that's really because people think
yes,
it's not
yeah,
a primary need. They think it's just
not
entertainment.
necessary. Yes,
So
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. That's true. And yeah, and that's why I admire, in fact, in Bandung, because design is part of your, I think it's part of the budget, right? It's part of the creative economy is something that's acknowledged and something that's supported by government, right?
Yeah,
In
we
Bandung.
decided now. Because before, creativity is not even in the budget, but then because we insisted as community, then
Yeah.
it could fit in the bill. So we have a regulation on budget allocation. But this only happens also recently, like 10 years. So before that, there's no
10 years.
yeah, well, creative economy as a
Wow.
formal institution, it appears only in the year
Yeah.
2000 something, 2010, 2015. So yeah, it's recent.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, before it's only
Oh, that's
culture.
good. Well, at least here in the Philippines, yeah, because we've only had it, I think people have started talking about it only in the last 2 years, and it's still a lot of things that are not even part yet of the proper budget. No, there's still no uh, clear recognition of the creative economy. And that's why I think that you in Bandung are more advanced, and we can learn a lot from you.
Us too, because in Cebu, I
Yeah.
know that Creative Cebu is really active in fighting for this, and it's good that you gather people, especially
Yes.
from I forgot the name, but it's a industrial furniture, Debbie Palau, and all those
Oh
things.
yeah. Yes. Devi Palau, and then yeah, yes, Devi Palau, and then there's Butch Karungay has also been very very active at the forefront of this, and now we have at least Cebu Design Week, which we've never had before. And now,
When?
of course, it's because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Now it's just an online event. Yeah,
When is it?
the Cebu Design Week. It's supposed to be. I'm not sure. I believe it's somewhere in October. Or yeah,
Oh,
I'm not sure now. But now we have a lot of online activities
yeah.
going on. But of course, it's
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 not the
never the
same.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to
Yes.
have
Yeah.
also events.
I've
Lots.
Yes. I remember it was always my dream whenever we're in Milan and we get together with all the other Southeast Asian designers, from Thailand, from Indonesia, and we've always wanted to get together and create like a forum because our problems, our experiences, our materials are the same, and we've always wanted to get together. And yeah, a group of us have always, tried to see how we can get it to work, where we all have a summit or a forum
Yeah.
to discuss how we can, yeah, what role we play in the global world of design. I think it's very difficult for one country to actually to actually do this and but I think together in Southeast Asia, when you see a design, for example, something that's woven natural, it comes from Southeast Asia, and it's very rare that somebody says, "Oh, that's Filipino or Indonesian or whatever." It's still Southeast Asian. And I think we share the same all our everything that has to do with us, our culture, our resorts, our hotels, everything. They all kind of like it's one synonymous. The look, the feel, and I think we've never had that exchange actually between between
Uh,
designers across Southeast Asia. It's always
Right.
been a dream of ours, which never been realized. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, next year will
Uh,
be another Bandung Design Biennale, and it would be fun if we can do this. We can materialize what we're talking about now, because yeah, it's nice to have this. There's somebody here in the comment. ASEAN Design Week would be nice. So Penang has been gathering us
yes,
as well.
definitely. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and
Yes,
oh,
yes, yes.
this is
Yeah.
our Indonesia Creative
Oh,
Cities
Governor
Network
Ridwan. Yes, Camille. Yeah,
General Secretary.
yeah.
He has visited Cebu and visit your
Yes,
workshop with Governor Camelia.
yes, yes, yes. Governor Camille. Yeah, he's always one of my. I admire him. Governor Camille is used to be the mayor, right? Mayor of Bandung,
Yeah,
and
and also
yeah,
governor
and he
of
put forth the creative agenda, and that's why Bandung is what it is today. And he's now governor. And yeah, I think we need somebody like that to champion the rights of creative designers and the cost for creative design, because it can really transform not only a country but a people.
yeah.
Mm.
Have you been thinking of
And
also going into
yes,
politics and also doing that yourself?
I've been asked, but I think that going to politics would kind of, I think, muddle everything that I've worked for. I think it's difficult because I have a brand, and yeah, and it's just that, I prefer to help, try to help in any way I can, but just to remain in the background. I think it's difficult because politics is just a whole different animal.
Yeah, you can influence people anyway
Yeah.
from being yourself in your business. So, uh, so it's
Yes.
been almost
Yes.
time's almost up.
Yeah.
I have to promote our other
Yeah.
event. So people,
Yes. Yes.
World Industrial Design Day.
Yeah.
After this, we have another event in Indonesia, in Bandung. It's called Accent Talk, about virtual architecture exhibition with ITB, with the campus where I teach. And if you go to their Instagram at Accent Studio, AAKSEN Studio, then you find out more about it. So that will be the next event for this. Goes on, Kenneth, until 10 at night. So so we watch each other.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
Is there anything in
Great.
Cebu going on for this
All
day?
right. Nothing particularly. We're on lockdown, so we're not supposed to go out. So there's not much going on, except for online activities like these. Yeah, but thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tita. And
Thank
thank you
you.
also for all the wonderful
And you have a
people
lot of comments here from your
tuning in.
fans,
And
from people who like your work, and a lot of your followers. And I see Vicky also here. Vicky is the head of,
yeah.
the chairman of ICCN, and he's waving as well. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
great to see you.
Yes.
I hope
Yeah.
that we can connect again, at least, if not for the Bandung Design Biennale, then for other events, for ASEAN Design cities,
Yeah.
I think.
Thank you, Tita. Yes.
Thank you. Great
Yes.
to see
Yes.
you,
I would
and
love to always work with you for the, yeah.
take care.
All right. Stay safe and strong. Take
You
care.
too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.